Hey there guys, this is Robin Hood bringing you another 1 versus 1 that I did a while back actually in a Shogun 2 Total War Fall of the Samurai. But the main point of this video is actually to say that CA seems to have released a patch. Either that or these replays are just turning out really well, but there was a really small update and all of a sudden all my replays work just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that they fixed the replay glitch. So now I'll still do some live stuff, but now I can show you some more of the close-ups that some of you guys like. And so I'll still do kind of a mix, but now it allows me to do more with the replays. So my army here, I have a parrot gun as my artillery, and real quickly, he has a parrot gun with increased range, so he can immediately open fire on me, and he's going to have a good effect there. But what I have some hidden Yari-kai, or cavalry, over here in the woods, and then in the center I have several black bear infantry, and then what is this? Yeah, more black bear. So that's pretty much all I brought. Although I could have sworn... No, that's a different battle. Okay, my bad. And then here's a vermilion bird force. They look like almost like World War I soldiers with those hats. But yeah, we've got some spear levy, 2 of them. My artillery's getting destroyed here, and then I've obviously got my general. So yeah, this map, it's actually kind of interesting because there's a lot of different options with the guns, but you know, it can be very, very interesting. And you know, I have a battle that I'll show you a bit later on this map where it works out that I end up surrounding my opponent's entire army in the center here. Like literally, I have them fully encircled on the hills and such. And that is... Do I want a game on Napoleon? Maybe later. But you know, that's for later. So what I'm gonna do when I notice that he is content to sit on this hill up here and my cavalry got caught over here, not much it can do against 2 units, but when I saw that he was gonna sit on this hill up here with his artillery, and at this point mine is pretty much gone, I decide to march around this way, and I'm gonna march up this hill so that when we fight, it's not me coming up from a valley right into his artillery. Over here he still has quite a hill, but I'm gonna end up bringing him down into this area, and you know, I just felt better attacking from this side rather than marching across the center where he could take... The main reason was he had these 2 units here and he could have lined them up on this cliff and fired down on my flank. So if I moved everything over, then that would have been better. So my artillery is going to get like 2 or 3 nice shots before it ends up going down, and that's going to be the end of them. I have got this carbine cavalry, and they're going to play a pretty big role in the battle also. Very nice unit if used correctly. Then the rest of my infantry here. So as you can see, I'm just moving up the hill. My artillery... didn't much care about it at this point, but it's all but dead. We're gonna fire like 2 more shots here, and I believe this one here is actually effective. Nope. No, that's the last shot, and then they're gonna rout. So that's the end of my artillery. And now he has artillery, and they're gonna cause me some grief on this hill, but that's pretty much that. I'm gonna move forward, just slowly moving forward here. He had some hidden Yari-kachi. These are basically Yari Samurai from the original. And I'm gonna get a volley into them with my carbine cavalry and on their flank here. And, you know, it was a small volley, but I'm gonna run away. I was hoping the rest of the guys would shoot, that's why I waited. But when I run back here, I believe they actually do fire, if I'm correct. Yeah, this would be when they do. And so we're going to get a really nice volley, and this unit's going to be pretty much negated. This was my spear unit that was guarding my artillery, and I sent them over this way just kind of as a distraction. Obviously, they're not going to do anything, but I was hoping that if, you know, it came to the best situation. He wouldn't notice them because he had this unit turned this way and I'd get into his lines. So as you can see though, his artillery is doing some damage to my men here. And yeah, that's some shrapnel shot for you, cutting down my men. There should be another round or two coming in. Or did I actually take out 2 of his cannons? No, he still has all 3. But at this point, yeah, I'm moving down, attacking. I am going to take the first rounds of fire here, but I'm going to return and get flanking fire here. And what he's going to do is charge his Yarikai at my carbine cavalry, and I don't know if they get off a shot first or no. But I'm going to pull them back when I saw this. I kept hoping they would fire and they didn't. And so now he'd be running right into my guns, which I positioned here like this to stop them. And I'm bringing down a spear unit. So I have my carbine cavalry in the back. My line is outgunning his in the center because we do have the hill. Although this artillery, once again, is not helping the situation much. So this unit's getting pretty beat up. On the far right, though, I'm going to start enveloping him with this matchlock or line infantry unit, and use my spears to guard against the cavalry, because this is his one unit that is doing fairly well. So you can see the smoke building up here. What I was doing is wherever my center was weak, I'd send my carbine cavalry there to provide support, and this unit's going to get mowed down right in front of the lines. So that is a massacre for you. Yeah, they got volleyed from both this unit and the carbine cavalry. And here I'm going to get some nice flanking fire on this unit that is going to end their days on this battlefield. So you can see them getting shot down there. All my men up on the ridge. They look kind of funky from far away with those odd black hats. Those are just awkward hats. So at this point, my opponent still has artillery. He still has these 2 units. But I'm going to go ahead and just march forward and attack him anyway, even though he's on the hill. Because I've got so many... These 2 units can only fire at 2 units. That's just how the game works. They can't, like, this half fires here, this half here. No, so I have way more troops. I'm just going to march straight forward, and I will, you know, get some wrap-up flanking here. My first lineup was kind of bad. I have to send these guys forward a bit more. But over here, he's still got his cavalry in the back, and if he plays this right, he can end my army and pull off a victory before I take this hill if he uses the cavalry right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my general and my spears to guard my my army here. So this spear unit's going to take on this cav unit, and then over here I see that this cavalry unit is running this way, so I'm going to move all of these troops out of the way really quickly, turn my carbine cavalry unit, get these spears in, get my general out of there, and I was bringing these spears over too, but these guys are just going to rout from being shot down, and the spears there. And at this point, as you can see, I'm mowing down this unit in the center, and you can see some of them going down. That guy's getting shot in the stomach. But that's the end of the battle. At that point, he admitted defeat, and you know, he only had 1 more unit, and his artillery, which wasn't even firing at that point because I was too low, or maybe they were out of ammo. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, good game to my opponent. Good game. That was, you know, it was interesting to attack a hill with artillery on it without my artillery actually doing anything. But you know, that's sometimes how it works, and for there it worked out for me. So we'll just take a look at the stat screen here once it loads and gets to it. With the DirectX 11 it takes a bit longer to load, sadly. There we go. So you can see I did deploy a lot more than him. It's because his artillery unit, let me show you them first. You can see my guys, all the kills down there, and my Fruit Loop parrot guns getting 6 kills, so they did nothing. So his parrot guns didn't even really do that much. I mean, 82 kills is a lot, yes, but they were 6 chevrons, they had the increased range. They cost a lot to bring them in a medium funds battle, and for how much they cost, they did by no means the damage that they should have done to make up for that cost. Maybe in a different battle they would. I don't know. But there it didn't work because I used the hill as cover. So, good game to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will be back with more next time. Okay there guys, if you liked that video, please leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, and click that subscribe button for more. Also provided is a link to my Facebook and Twitter accounts so that you guys can go and check that out. And in the bottom left we have a link to the last video in this series so that you guys can go and check that out if you haven't already. And on the right is a link to my other channel, Robin Hood FPS, which features all of my first person shooter gameplay. So if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, go check out that channel, and thank you for watching.